And he's had a lot more to look at in the space of, what, 3 or 4 days this week. What do you think he would have learned, Phil, from these 2 defeats?
Look, I think he's got a clear identity of the way he wants to play. I think he's got a clear message of how he wants every individual player to be, and in and out, in possession, out of possession. That will take time, of course. He's alluded to the fact that it's going to take time to implement his style and the way he wants to go about things. But I think when you strip it back and you know, the principles never change, whichever system you're going to play, whichever formation you're going to play. But I do think, you know, if you're going to concede goals like they have and set plays, they're going to find it increasingly difficult.
It may sound like a silly question, Jamie, but how important is actually, you know, as part of this process, he's trying to learn about his team, he's trying to instill all this new information, but how important is he actually wins in these early stages as well?
Well, yeah, of course it is, but there is actually a world where if he would have come in, we all talk about a manager bounce, and if he'd have come in and they'd have gone 5 games on the bounce, winning every game 2-3, 4-0, I think it would have papered over a lot of the cracks because he wouldn't have learned. So probably the best thing that can be happening right now is to see the weaknesses, is to see the fragility in the team where they're not good enough defensively, not good enough going forward. He needs time, but at risk of repeating myself, he needs more time than anybody other manager, because under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they were inconsistent. Under Ten Hag, they were inconsistent. And not that Erik Ten Hag was the right man, I think we all figured that by the end, but he looks, he has something, he has a style and a way of playing. Players want to run for me, which players are disciplined and want to live like footballers and be a professional and play for a club of the magnitude. He said this week, didn't he? He said, look, we're a huge club, but we're a big club, but we haven't got big players. And that's what it looks like. So that I always feel when a manager comes in, don't get fooled by it. And probably the fact they're getting bad results is not great for the fans. They want to see him winning straight away. But at least he'll know now who's with him, who's good enough, who isn't. And he will learn a lot more quickly by what's happened at the moment than he will if he'll get it. It'd have been like, cool, what a great result. But are we still that good?
Do you think he would have been surprised, Phil, by the scale of what he's taken on? I think you said it when we were watching the game, Jamie. Every result is news for Manchester United, whether they win or they lose.
Listen, becoming the manager of Manchester United is a mammoth task. You know, ever since Sir Alex Ferguson left, they've had managers come in who have tried to replicate that or come close to that, and it's been very difficult. You know, a new manager comes in, you always want to give them time. You always want to give them, you know, the time to develop the squad, the team. But you know, I like the way he conducts himself. I like the way he speaks. He's confident. He's got this aura about him where he knows what he wants and where he wants to go. So listen, I think time on the training pitch to implement the way he wants to build up in possession, to be out of possession. I think you've seen clips and little moments in games where you're thinking, okay, you can see the structures there. You can see in possession where they're a transition. They look a bit more sharper. But I think for now it's about putting that package together, putting that complete performance together to try and really salvage something from the season.
I suppose my question is, when is he going to get that time? Because at the moment, certainly, he's got a game every 3 or 4 days.